dream with anyone. She's made it through heaven, she's made it through hell. It's just another story to tell. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen? Filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights. Making up a bar queen on the phone in the great big boulevard, the place she belongs. It's just another story she tells. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen? Filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights. Through Hollywood nights. Through Hollywood nights. You always looked after me, brother, when we were children. You always had my back. You took all the blame when our father caught us doing things that drove him mad. Through the years I could lean on you when I messed up. I'd call you in the night, but I broke too many promises and we split up. Though I still need ya, you gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down. It's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got into this awful spot. I don't know where it ends, so I could use your helping hand tonight. I wanna say that I'm sorry. I got sidetracked and I left you in the cold. I've seen your side of the story. I felt the drawback. My mistake took its toll. Finally, I have realized I was dead wrong. I wasn't thinking straight. No more lies, and from here on out I'll be better, 'cause I still need ya. You gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down. It's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got into this awful spot. I don't know where it ends, so I could use your helping hand tonight.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro, lights, camera, action. Action, action, action. Let's go. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thursday night. It is the 11th of November, 11/11, Veterans Day. We are here for episode 108 of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world, boys and girls, children of all ages. What a day today it is. I say that because it is Veterans Day. And a couple things, actually. First and foremost, I think it's very important to put in perspective where we need to put things in perspective. So first off, happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all of you men and women who have decided to stand up, raise your hand, and make that vow on behalf of yourselves for the country that we live in. And you have stood up and done something that the vast minority of people in this country have done. So thank you to all of you veterans for doing so. It is also Remembrance Day in other parts of the world, so I want to recognize that as well. And then I also want to talk just briefly in a few minutes. I'll mention it again, but congratulations to my chapter here locally, because today is our seal date. Today, 11/11, is our anniversary, 1 year in, for the Bearded Villains Northern Indiana chapter. It's been a very fun year, lots of growth, lots of great charity work done. We've had such a blast. We have grown in massive ways, and I'm just excited for the future. So get into that in just a few minutes. But hey, we are here for episode 108. Now, with episode 108, the plan, as you know, those of you who are longtime listeners here to the podcast, we operate under kind of a best laid plans perspective, right? And so I intended on, best intentions to bring on an interview today, which I wasn't able to actually get until last minute this evening. And I wanted to bring on the captain of the Bearded Villains of Virginia, Nick, or Crash, as he's known. And I wanted him to talk a little bit about their upcoming event this weekend, which is Beards Away 2.0. Well, after a few different attempts at getting connected and trying to sort out whatever sound problems he was hearing on his end, I wasn't hearing on my end, and we finally, after 2 different phones and a whole bunch of different things, we finally got the interview completed. Or so I thought. Then it gets to the time where I have to edit the audio, edit the interview down so that I can replay it here live for everybody to listen to. Sometimes, things just happen, and boy, did things happen this time. So I'm gonna see if there's any possible way that I can play this part of it for you guys. Needless to say, it was a massive failure, and the only thing I can figure is that there was some little glitch in my board or something, because during the interview, the sound was fine. I could hear him just fine. I could hear myself just fine, just like I normally do. But when I went back to play it back, it sounded like Darth Vader on meth underneath a car filled with pillows. It was really bad. And it sounded like robot voice with something else. It was terrible. And it wasn't just my voice, it was it was Crash's voice as well. And I couldn't there was no way to edit it. There was no way to figure it out in time to try and edit it. No way to take it out. Once, as most of you know, once something's recorded, it's in there. And you can only do so much to change it. But once the pattern is there, once the bare bones of a recording are there, you can't do much but to pretty them up. And so there was no way to recover this audio. But it might be fun for you to listen to for about 3 or 4 seconds if I can figure out a way to play it up for you in a few minutes. But so what I will do is decipher for you the information that Crash told me about with their event. And hopefully it won't be the same, I know, but hopefully get a little bit of anticipation, excitement built up for anybody that is listening to the podcast tonight or tomorrow or early Saturday in preparation for going out there to Virginia for their event. So yeah, that's how things happened this week. I feel like lately, I've been just stuck behind this huge boulder every week, and I need to find my way around this boulder that just keeps jumping in front of me. Every week I get back, and it's been this way ever since like episode 100. Once we hit that huge milestone, it's not been easy. Nothing about getting this show ready to go each week has been easy. Every week there's a new something that popped up, whether it was a schedule snafu, whether it was technical snafu, whether it was, and it's each week something happens, and it makes it very interesting to know whether I have no idea whether it's going to kick off or not. So we'll dive into that. I hate with all the excuses. I really do. And I know that most of you guys are out there that do listen to this podcast could care less. You're just here to have fun, and you support the podcast wholeheartedly, and I completely appreciate that. I want to say hello to those who are here with us live. Joker has been here all night in 2 different categories. He's here on the initial live where I oopsed and went live to a different live stream, and he found me there. So I'm not sure what happened there. But Nick, how you doing? So thank you, Joker, for following me back over here. Nick is here as well. He's mixing up some oils. Check out Reverend Nick Harden. He's got some good oils. Good oils. Rob Fetter's in the house as well. Good to see Big Mike in the house as well, saying, "What's up, fellas?" Another day above ground. Well, Big Mike, I got to agree with you on that one. Absolutely. And I saw One Feather in here as well. How you doing, Wayne? Good to see you. I also saw Puzzle Man. Hector's in the house as well with his little googly eyes watching from afar. We love you too, buddy. Good stuff. Good news coming down on one of his little ones. One of our bright spots anytime we get to see Puzzle Man and his family at one of our events is his kids are just awesome, and heard some good news come back on the health front for Diego. So Can't say enough about that. Keep praying. Love that stuff. Made me smile. Made me smile. So I don't know how many of you guys that are listening live I'll be seeing tomorrow in the at Battle of the Beards in Evansville, Indiana, but I will be there. So I look forward to seeing everybody that is tuning in tonight and that is listening later, but not too much later because then it won't be in time to see you. Anyway. That's great, Puzzle. He says, thanks, brother. Diego loves Uncle BP. Yeah, Uncle BP. It's one of his favorites, man. He just makes me laugh, makes me smile. How can you not? I mean, yeah. Makes me smile, man. So let's talk for a second here, guys. Like I said at the beginning, I have no idea how long this episode's going to be and how interesting it really could be, because this is going to be all BP, all episode long, because no interview could be played because it was absolutely horrendous. I'm not sure if there's a way for me to play it back. Let's see. Nope, there's no way for me to play that part of it back. So let's see if while I'm talking to you guys, I can try to sort through a possible route to find this. So what was crazy is that, like I said, I wanted to get the interview in, and I wanted to talk to Crash about Beards Away 2.0. As you guys know, I like to try and talk in advance of an event when different chapters have things coming up. And I hoped that that would be the case this time as well. Well, sad to say, it just didn't quite work out like that. Let's see here. We're going to try. Let's see. Was it this time? No, it was this one here, I think. So I'm going to try pull this thing out. And I have no idea if this is going to work. Copy this. Don't you love when I'm talking you through this? And I'm not even going to edit this part of it out. This is just bad podcasting 101. Don't do this, people, what I'm doing right now. All right, so I'm going to try and see. I have no idea what this is. I've never tried this before. I have no way of knowing what's going to happen. But let's try it and see if I do this, what happens. All right. Apparently, I can hear it, but you guys cannot. So, no idea. It was bad. I tried to bring it in. I don't know. Anyway, I can't explain it. One of these days, I'll try to edit this in, edit some of this in here for the audio people, so that they can hear it, because it was all kinds of bad. There's no two ways about it. And I can't see it. It's not popping up on my screen, so I can't bring it back in as an audio file. And unless I try it this way. Let's try it this way. Okay, so as I talk you through this, boys and girls, Beards Away is going to be at Bunker Brew Pub. And it is going to benefit, it's benefiting Vets House Inc. in Virginia Beach, which is pretty awesome. They do all sorts of stuff for the veterans out there, help them get on their feet, help them with job works and different things like that. And can't say enough about him. Crash was much more eloquent than I could possibly be talking about it. And but such a cool organization. If you want to donate to them, I would encourage it. Anytime we can do something for our vets, especially when it's a situation where there's an organization out there that is not only working to get our veterans in a space where they can better their lives so that they can become a very productive part of society. Anytime you have that, I mean, let's support and work with that. But on top of that, they help people with job training. They help people with making sure they're staying sober. And there's a whole variety of different things that this place does. So I urge you to go out online and look them up. Vets House Inc. I believe it's out of Virginia Beach. Check those guys out. Let's see if this works, if there's any way for this to happen. I'm going to try to play for you. I'm going to try to play for you how pathetically bad this sounded once I was done and I tried to edit this out. And this is the reason why you're not hearing the interview tonight.
This weekend out in Virginia is Beards Away 2.0.
There we go. Now you can hear it.
Competition, and it's going to be an amazing time. They've got all sorts of cool stuff going on. I heard rumor that
how long could you stand that?
Really well received.
How long could you really stand listening to
at
that?
The Bunker Brew Pub. Here to tell us a little bit about it tonight is Mr. Crash, Captain.
And it's even when I'm talking to Crash here too.
Crash, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It's not as loud, but it's on his end as well.
Hopefully some audio signal and video issues sorted out. Let's keep our fingers crossed here.
This is absolutely terrible.
So far, so good.
I won't.
Tell me a little bit.
I won't make you guys listen to this much longer here. But I just wanted to give you an idea.
For a bit, so
this is why.
It'd be kind of crazy to think that, but you'd be surprised.
This is why.
Some people out there may not know who you are. Tell a little bit about who you are.
You are not listening to an interview right now. This is why you're not listening to the interview. So, what Crash was telling us was that they're back at Bunker Brew Pub, and one of the really cool things that they have done with this event, obviously to support veterans in every possible way that they can, and the timing of it on Veterans Day weekend, and you just can't say enough about that. But one of the really cool things that they've done to honor one of their own, Mayday, who was one of their chapter brothers that passed away in the last year. And they wanted to do something to honor him. And they found a really cool way to do that. And so they decided that the beard category for Beards Away, that would have been the beard category that he would have fallen into. He always had a much smaller beard, as they said. I'm speaking strictly from their descriptions because I never had the pleasure of meeting Mayday, but they indicated that he was always in the 0 to 4 category. He was in the baby beards or the business beard category. So now, instead of calling it the business beard or baby beard or whatever it is, instead of calling it that, they have renamed that category for their event the Mayday category. And I think that's a really cool, really nice way to honor him. So the Mayday category exists. They also have a special trophy for whoever wins that category in his honor. So such a cool thing. Now, if you have not seen, this is something that I always like when you go to beard competitions. Those of you who went to our beard competition, Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc a few weeks back, I'm a big sucker for something cool for a trophy. I want it to, something to stand out, something to be unique. And not to say that the plaques that are made, especially some of the custom plaques that different chapters make, are really nice. But I wanted something other than a plaque, something different. Something that if you see it, you know it. And that's from that event. And so we made headstones of 3 different sizes. And they looked genuinely like headstones, the way that we made them up. And they looked like marbleized headstones as trophies for second, third. So with a Halloween-themed event, we figured perfect timing to do that. Well, one of the first chapters to do something like that was a really cool themed trophy that I'd seen a couple years ago with Beards Away, 2 years ago, was when Virginia held Beards Away, the initial one, and their trophies look like bombs. And they look like actual bombs, miniature bombs. And what was really cool was I learned in our conversation tonight, which you would have heard had that technical glitch not been there. I actually thought that these trophies were actually made from like spent or made safe cases of shells of some sort, and then maybe shaped a little differently to look fully like a little bomb. But no, not the case. Because I know that there's a lot of times you can buy that stuff out there. You can buy the old military surplus, the shells out there that have been made safe and emptied and all that other stuff. I thought that's what these things were, but no, they're actually 3D printed to look like bombs, but they're very, very cool. And so this is the first place. So go out there and look if you're interested, because the trophies that they're going to have out there this weekend are very unique and pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you like to collect odd trophies, Beards Away is going to be one of those you're going to want for sure. But yeah, we talked about that. We talked about, what they're doing with Virginia. They're growing. They're staying tough. They're just focused right now, focused on doing a really good job for this event. They're busy tonight and tomorrow, rolling into the weekend. If you're not sure and you live somewhere near Virginia, if you're not sure what you want to do and you want to go hang out with some bros, head over there, man. Bunker Brew Pub, and hit up the Virginia Bearded Villains. You can go hang out with those boys, and it's going to be a good time. I look forward to seeing the photos from that event. One of the funny things that I did learn in my conversation with Crash tonight was that there's actually, and I did not know about this, and I'm surprised that I did not know about this being in Indiana myself, but apparently, and maybe it's a good thing that I do know this now because I can help my state brothers out, but there's apparently a little friendly wager going on betwixt the Virginia chapter, who is hosting Beards Away this weekend, and the Southern Indiana Villains, who are hosting Battle of the Beards, as to who raises more money for the charities, for their individual charities. Both of them going to veteran causes, and so apparently there's a little friendly little rager there, and I'm looking forward because I know that the boys in Southern Indiana are going to be coming strong because they've got a ton of raffle and auction items. And seemingly every year there is some 2 or 3 auction items that just come out of nowhere that are huge and go for a ton of money outside of everything else they have going on. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting now learning that there's this kind of friendly wager to determine whose chapter raises more at their events, and then a small amount of money then goes to what will be paid by the chapter that doesn't meet the expectation. So fun and friendly rager, and I think that's very cool. But I'll be down there with my money, heading to the Battle of the Beards this weekend, the meet and greet at Chasers tomorrow night, and the VFW. We're going to be having a good time with Battle of the Beards. Look forward to seeing everybody that's going to be hanging out there. It's going to be awesome. Awesome times. You guys sure you don't want to listen to more of this?
Virginia Bearded Villains have been up to lately?
Yeah, I've been a villain since 2015.
Want to keep
I
listening to
started
this?
pretty early in the whole program,
I
so I've been
think so.
around for a while. I've been captain of the Virginia Villains for about 6
Yeah. So, hey, let's get a little bit of adware out of the way here and move on. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. And of course, I have to say I am indebted to Pulpo Beard Oils for their assistance in helping us out at the last minute when we needed some sponsorship and prizes for our event after we had to change courses a few weeks back, just a few weeks out from our event. And Pulpo stepped up. So special thanks to Pulpo and Optimus Mendez for making sure that happened for us. So thank you very much. Rob has joined us tonight. Robaba, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. He's over in the UK, if you didn't already know, tuning in amidst utter chaos at work. I can only imagine what that is. I can only imagine what kind of chaos you've got going on over there. But hey, thanks for tuning in. This is craziness itself with no real projected line of real thought. We're just covering a bunch of stuff. We just talked about the Beards Away event hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains at Bunker Brew Pub, and it's Beards Away 2.0. Going to be held November 13th. Looks like an awesome time. I can't wait to see the photos from that thing. And I don't know what to read into this, Popeye, or read into that puzzle, but Puzzle said, referencing the others, Fran and I helped make them. I assume he's talking about the trophies. Where I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate, and made some comment about the real thing. I don't know. This is the problem with texting and being live and trying to decipher comments at the same time when people only put up bits and pieces, and that's all they can. So you just get tidbits of information. Thank you for everybody that is hanging out with us tonight. I know you have choices to do a million other things that could probably be more fun and or productive, but you chose this. You chose this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I mentioned earlier that today, 11/11, is the Bearded Villains Northern Indiana, my chapter, anniversary. 1 year ago today, we got our seal and became an official chapter. And I can't even express, there's no real words to express how happy I am, how excited I am to be leading these awesome men that are in this chapter. Some had no idea what they were getting into. They just jumped on board and came over as hopefuls, as supporters at the time, and said, yeah, I still want to do this. Let's go. And we've got such a great mix of guys who are just willing to step up and give. And we've had such an amazing year in these last 365 days that I look back, and it's easy, I think, when you do that, to look back and think of the things that were missed opportunities, to look back and see those times where you thought in the moment you were maybe disappointed because you weren't able to do this or you weren't able to do that, especially coming off of a COVID year. But I spent some time over the last couple of weeks very, very earnestly paying attention to what we did accomplish and the lives that we were able to change, that we were able to affect in a positive way. And it was truly humbling to look back and see all of the things that our guys were able to be a part of. And that goes to, when you start looking back at things like this, it's not just what you yourself personally did. It's not necessarily what you and your specific chapter did of their own volition. It's chapter members. Where were you? What were you doing? What were you able to be a part of? In this last year, representing our chapter, myself, my co-captain, Ed, a few of our other brothers that are in the chapter, Donnie, Ray, we've got a few other guys that were able to make long trips to someplace like DSV. We've got some guys that we made trips down to Miami. We made, I was the only one, unfortunately, that was able to go to the East Coast meet. We had representatives going to Knox Villains. We had representatives going all over the country to a variety of different chapters events throughout the year. And our guys were able to take part in and see. And that's, to me, when you have a young chapter, when you have such a young chapter just blossoming and just starting up, and you want to keep that momentum going, but you have guys inevitably, when you have a young chapter and a new chapter, you're going to inevitably have guys that have only been a part of Bearded Villains for a year or less. So the chances are better than average that they've not been to a lot of large meets. So to witness their expression, to see through their eyes that first big event, that first multi-chapter event, for them to see firsthand the things that you tried to tell them, to see them feel for the first time that family, that true brotherhood, the things that Bearded Villains represents so tightly within our events that you feel from the minute you walk in those doors. And to see some of our young guys witness that for the first time at an event where they have no idea who anybody else is, except for 2 or 3 people that they came with. And within 5 minutes, they feel like the hundreds of people that are standing before them, they've known them their entire lives. And these are the things that we talk about with our young guys. We tell them. These are the things that we tell you, this is what you can expect from Bearded Villains. And until you witness it firsthand, it's easy to just kind of brush it aside and say, okay, yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. But to see it and to obviously it's exciting when it happens to you. And it's exciting after it happens one time though, you know what to expect. And you know what's going to happen. So that to me is what was so exciting about this past year, was I had so many opportunities to be there with our guys whose event it was, in some cases, that event, it was their first time seeing it. To see our guys travel all the way down to DSV and to see that with their own eyes, that exactly what you thought, what you told us it was going to happen, we were going to be treated that way. And they were. And the happiness that was for them. And then, at other events that throughout the entire year, it's such a fun time. And then throughout the year, as time goes on, we're able to assist in coat drives for Chicago. We're able to assist in food drives for other organizations. We're able to donate, some funds or resources or just time to participate in an MS walk. Guys stepped up and participated locally in a cancer walk in Relay for Life. We had the largest attendance of any of the groups at our local Relay for Life this year, by far. It was a down year for Relay for Life, but we had by far and away about 3 times as many people on our team that any one of the nearest teams had. And so that was really cool because we had a chance then, as we took up our expansive area under 4 or 5 different tents, for us to be able to be sprawled out in this yard area on a track, and people see bearded villains, the flags. They want to come over and talk to you. What's this? I remember you guys were here last year, but there were only a couple of you guys. There were only a handful of you guys. And now there are so many. And for us to be able to talk to them about what we're about and the things that we've been able to do in the last year, it's so cool. And then to round the year out with being able to have our first beard competition a few weeks ago and rolling that in with a costume contest just because it fits. It fits our dark logo, our epically dark logo. And it was so fun. We were supported by so many other chapter members from other chapters that came out and stood tall with us, donated. We had thousands of dollars in donated food items that we were able to split between our 2 Northern Indiana Ronald McDonald houses. These two Ronald McDonald houses had no idea what to expect. When I reached out to them and said, hey, by the way, I'm the captain of the Northern Indiana Bearded Villains, and after explaining to them what that was, then explaining to them that, oh, by the way, we're going to host a beard competition. Don't laugh. You have to pause for that when you tell somebody that for the first time. Then there's the conversation about what a beard competition is. But after telling these people, these fine ladies, representatives of both of the Ronald McDonald houses, that we were going to do these competitions, and oh, by the way, your facility is going to be the recipient of funds that we receive from that event, along with donated items that will help you out during Halloween time, or as standard food items during the average other times of your year. They had no idea what to expect. And so the following week, when we were able to go to the Ronald McDonald houses and deliver those items, they were flabbergasted by the number of carts that they had to take. They thought usually a donated, an item, series of donated items is maybe 1 or 2 carts, and they needed 4 or 5 carts to roll stuff back into the Ronald McDonald houses. And then to also receive a check, which they didn't know that they were going to be, they didn't believe, they thought it was all rounded out into the food items. It was just a fun time, a great way to round out the year. And we're not done yet. We still have one of my absolute favorite organizations that I've worked with as a bearded villain, that one of our brothers down in central Indiana, Hawksby, found, was an organization I've spoken about before on this show, called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And there's chapters all over the country. If you're looking for an organization to partner with on a somewhat regular basis that you can really, really feel and see the change that you're making, search your area for a Sleep in Heavenly Peace chapter. They build beds for kids that do not have beds, and you would be shocked at the number of kids out there that do not have beds, that sleep on a mattress on the floor, or a pile of clothes on the floor, or just a blanket. It's shocking. So to be able to knock on the door on a Saturday and say, we're here, and the 3 kids that are in this house that don't have beds, we're going to leave here in less than an hour, and you're all going to have beds, fully dressed up, mattress, all the sheets, pillows, everything. And it's amazing to see how something like that can change a life. So we are going to be partnering up again with them here in the northern part of our state at the beginning of next month to kind of round out our year. We're excited about that. They have been waiting for months for donated mattresses, so we've been on hold with them, waiting to help out. So it's just been such an amazing year, guys. It really has. And to everybody who has reached out to me, to everybody that has reached out to any of my chapter members, to those of you who were here to participate in our event or support us in any way, shape, or form, be it by buying a shirt or anything else, patches, thank you so much. It's been a crazy year, but to think that we would come as far as we have in just a year, from forming a chapter to within 6 months having all of the paperwork filled out so that we were officially designated as a 501c3 nonprofit charity organization with the federal government, to get that big step done so quickly, and to be able to have a group of guys that we have whose first thought is, how can I help? As a captain of that chapter, you can't ask for more. So it's been an amazing year. I can't wait for the next. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this next year. We've got so many other opportunities to jump on board with other organizations. We've got so many opportunities to help out other chapters. And that's one of those things that we just can't overlook. We can't overlook the necessity that there is for us to help out our other chapters the best we can, be it purchasing a patch. If you're not a collector of patches, here's an idea. If you're not a collector of patches and you don't like them, they just clutter things up and you don't want to deal with them, just send them some money that would be the same cost as a patch. Just say, hey, look, I don't want a patch, but maybe I just want to donate $10. If your patches are $10, here's $20. Just say I bought 2. And then they can decide, you know what? Hey, maybe you can give those patches to somebody else. But, we need to support our other chapters the best we can. And it doesn't mean that your entire chapter has to be there to do that. It can be 1 or 2 guys. It can be 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. But just to think, if every person tried to reach out a couple of times a month to help out one of our fellow chapters doing something, and you just buy one less Starbucks, one less Dunkin' Donuts coffee over the course of that week, and help donate $5 to their cause, whatever they're doing near and dear to their hearts locally, it could be an amazing thing. It could be a truly amazing thing. So keep it all in mind, guys. I know this has been a really strange episode. I've been all over the place, but it's been a very reflective time for me the last couple of weeks as I looked at what we have been able to accomplish here in Northern Indiana in the last year, but also to look back and see all of what Bearded Villains as a whole, what our chapters have been able to do for charity, for organizations in their areas, to look back and all the different events that you went to. If you went to, any at all, you look back and see $5,000 raised here, $10,000 raised here. This event raised $14,000. This event raised $7,000. And you look back on that and you realize how amazing the charity efforts have been in the post-COVID year, at a time when So many of these organizations desperately needed it. This past year, for a lot of people, has been a time to focus on themselves, a time to focus on getting their ship in order, right? After that last year of being out of work or whatever it was, people have been focused on themselves. And I know that because of that, they've said that when I say they, who's they? I don't know. The powers that be, the people that write the stories, the people that come up with all the internet statistics. But I've heard that the numbers for charitable donations are way down in the last year. It was to be expected coming off of a pandemic year. But then to realize that, okay, in general, charitable efforts and charitable donations have been down, to look back and see what our guys, what our chapters have been able to do to support other organizations around the world and charitable efforts in the post-COVID year is pretty astonishing, really. So I couldn't be more proud of our guys, and that goes worldwide. It's not just here in the States. Our chapters have been active, especially the last 8 months, all over the world as the pandemic thing rolled down and the restrictions started loosening up. Guys were looking for opportunities, and it wasn't always financial. It could have been working at a soup kitchen, working at, a welfare home. It could have been patching up somebody's fence. But our guys were hungry. Our guys were thirsty to help out, and they did such a great job all over the world. And I get reflective. I look back, especially as we kind of come to the end of the year here, and we're starting to wind things down, and we're 7 weeks out from the end of the year. It's been an amazing year for Bearded Villains. Truly amazing. So I hope that everybody can kind of take stock in that and see it for what it is. There's still a few weeks left for opportunities to do things. And even if you aren't doing something in an organized fashion as a chapter, see if you can organize a few guys to go still do some little things. Plant some wreaths at a local cemetery. Plant flags for veterans at a local cemetery. Go out there and organize a few of your guys to go ring the bell at your local store. Be a bell ringer. Raise some money. Anything you can to better the lives of other people is a bonus. It's a bonus in your day. So, guys, that's pretty much what I got right now. I'm trying to read comments that keep popping in here from Puzzle Man. It's funny when he chimes in, it seems like it's a news alert, and I need to mention things. But guys, I'm just going to roll right into our calendar of events and pay attention here because we've got a few other events coming up and even into next year already. The plans are out there, and take heed. Find a way to schedule yourself for one or two of these things. What I try to tell people is try to schedule your year into quarters and see if there's one thing you can do each quarter of the year. If you can do more, that's great. And then each year, try to add more or pick a different one in that quarter to go to so you can spread it out. But I look forward to that. Seeing what everybody talks about for their next year. One of the things that I want to take just a second before I lose myself here in the chaos of this episode, I usually have an entire stream of merch items, and we're really kind of low right now on the merch front as far as different chapters trying to sell for merch. But I need to mention this because it just came out in the last week. Hollywood, who passed away last week from the North Texas chapter. The boys at the North Texas chapter are doing something pretty cool. And so they're trying to raise some money in his name. And I wanted to share this. They have because he was a Navy vet, he was on the subs for his entire career. They have created a patch, very cool looking patch with a submarine on it in memory of Hollywood. And the Hollywood Memorial patch is $15. And it looks like it's actually going to be a numbered patch by the looks of things here, with a little card that has up to 100 of them. So in memory of Hollywood, and then it will indicate your number out of 100 for the patch. But if for some reason you don't like patches, you don't want to collect patches, or you want to go above and beyond to help out, along with the memorial patch, North Texas will be accepting donations for Hollywood's family. And it's set up there on their it's set up there on their Big Cartel site, just like you would purchase any item, which is a really cool way to do it. And it starts out with a $5 donation, and it looks like you can actually select your dollar amount and then check out even with Apple Pay. So just like you were to make a regular purchase for a patch, like you can do for one of the $15 memorial patches. But if you don't want to do that, or you can't spend the $15, but you want to spend $5, you're able to do that here. And it's a really cool way to honor Hollywood and help out his family. The proceeds of this will be donated directly to the family. And as I said, you can do that with a cart. You can do that as part and parcel with a patch, in addition to or separate from. And there is even, if you want to get away from entering all your credit card information, you can just do it strictly with Apple Pay, one click once you select your dollar amount. So really cool thing North Texas is doing to help out family of a brother. It is at northtexasvillains.bigcartel.com. northtexasvillains.bigcartel.com is where that's at. All right, guys. Let's slide into our calendar of events. And we know that we have this weekend 2 events, 2 chances to hang out, and they're actually competing against themselves, we found out tonight. Kind of cool. Or not competing against each other, I guess, for total dollars raised. So November 12th through the 14th, Battle of the Beards 2021 in Evansville, Indiana, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. Chasers is the place for the meet and greet. Just hit up anybody with the Bearded Villains Southern Indiana. There's a line chat you can get into, like everything else. But hit up the Brothers of Southern Indiana. You're gonna want if you're anywhere nearby, you don't want to miss this. Battle of the Beards is one not to be missed. But if you can't make it because you're closer to Virginia, November 13th is Beards Away 2.0, hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains. It's their 6th anniversary in beard competition, and it's at the Bunker Brew Pub. Hit up the Virginia Bearded Villains for further information. Then November 26th to the 28th. See, I told you we're not done this year. November 26th to the 28th is the Cajun Beard Bash, hosted by the Bearded Villains, Louisiana. It is the largest, I don't know how they know this, but they know it. It's the largest beard competition in all of Louisiana. They have vendors, prizes, food, music, all sorts of stuff going on. That's November 26th to the 28th for the Cajun Beard Bash, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Louisiana. Then we slide right into January. Smoky Mountain's hitting something up again. These guys are crazy. 2 beard competitions in a year. They're going to do it. It's what they do. Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains 4-year anniversary and beard competition. It's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and benefits Hinderless 22. Hinderless 22. That's the Smoky Mountain 4-year anniversary and beard competition, January 8th. I do also know that we have a few things. Beardo de Mayo, hosted by the Ohio Bearded Villains, the first weekend of May. I know that in February, the last weekend of February, the North Texas Villains, I believe, are hosting the LSV. So keep your eyes out for those dates and times and all that stuff. We've got some stuff on the horizon, boys and girls. The LSV is on February 25th to the 27th. The West Coast meet, which is actually in Seattle, is June 10th through the 12th. That's hosted by the Eastern and Western Washington Bearded Villains. That'll be a cool event. Never been to Seattle. No time like the present, right? That'd be a good time to go for the West Coast meets. Unless it coincides with something else that I have to go to that weekend. If I'm not mistaken, it was in this past year at the same time. We already had one of the other events that I was already scheduled for. So that's the problem. There's only so many weekends in a year. Only so many weekends in a year. Let's see. Rob tuned in here and tells me that Bearded Villains Central England have a new chapter logo patch out. All right. Check that out. Go out there and find that. I did not get that in enough time here. Either I'm slacking or I'll just blame it on Neil. Neil's supposed to let me know when all that stuff comes out. So apparently Bearded Villains Central England has a new chapter patch out. Very cool stuff. And I'll tell you, Joker's ready for 2022. Joker says Puerto Rico is coming strong in 2022. I look forward to that. Looking forward to that. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks so much for tuning in at a time when I had no idea how this night was going to go because of the interview issues and the electronic issues I had earlier. It means a lot that you guys stuck it out with me. And just in case anybody's just joining late and isn't sure exactly what that was about.
Now, and we're doing pretty good.
This is why.
We're a fun, tight bunch of guys.
Not sure what that was all about.
We have a blast.
But it's not there now.
Ready to have a very fun
but
weekend.
It destroyed the interview that I recorded.
Okay, so going into this weekend here.
That's why.
This is...
You guys, close that thing out. All right. Thank you guys so much. You know how it is. You know how it is. This is the song. This is the new one that closes us out, right? Guys, that's going to wrap up episode 108 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy shirts, patches, pins, all that good stuff. Poker chips at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's where you're going to listen to all previous 107 episodes as well. I will say there are shirts that are on order. So if you ordered in the last several weeks, those shirts are on order. Unfortunately, my supplier has been extremely backed up and busy with all the orders he has. So as soon as I get them in, they're coming back to you. So please be patient, and I do appreciate your patience for that. I want to challenge you guys, as I always do, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Guys, the most important words I say every week. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, guys, have a great night. Enjoy this weekend we've got coming up. It's going to start getting cold out. Take care. If you're in Southern Indiana, I will see you there tomorrow. If you're in Virginia, go have a great time at Beards Away. Have a great night, guys. Take care. Stay safe.
100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone.